Lara, a 16-year-old girl, sits in her room, holding a recorder with trembling hands. Her heart races as she presses the play button. What she is about to hear will change her life forever. In a small town, where secrets hide in the shadows and appearances can be deceiving, a young girl named Lara is about to discover that her life is a web of lies and manipulation. From a very young age, Lara has been battling a mysterious illness that leaves her weak and dependent on the care of her grandmother, Dona Marta. Dona Marta, a 68-year-old woman, is known for her unwavering dedication to her granddaughter. Widowed for over a decade, she finds her reason for existence in Lara. However, behind her gentle smile and affectionate gaze lies a soul tormented by a past of loss and an overwhelming fear of loneliness. Her grandmother, worried about her granddaughter's health, tirelessly dedicates herself to caring for her, administering daily medications to alleviate her symptoms. Years pass, and Lara, now 16, continues to fight against her illness. Dona Marta, already elderly but still determined, persists in her routine of care. Every morning, she prepares the medicines and delivers them to her granddaughter, always with an affectionate smile on her face. However, something begins to bother Lara. Despite religiously taking the medications, she doesn't feel any significant improvement. On the contrary, it seems that her condition is gradually worsening. Lara starts to question the effectiveness of the medicines and her grandmother's dedication. One day, consumed by suspicion, Lara decides to place a hidden recorder in her room, hoping to capture some clue about what is happening. The following morning, after receiving her medications from her grandmother, Lara leaves for a routine medical appointment. Upon returning home, Lara rushes to her room and grabs the recorder. With her heart pounding, she presses the play button. What she hears leaves her shocked and perplexed, and it will change her life forever. Behind Dona Marta's gentle smile and affectionate gaze lies a soul tormented by a past of loss and an overwhelming fear of loneliness. As the audio begins to play, Lara hears the voice of her grandmother, Dona Marta, talking to herself. The words coming from the recorder are like sharp knives, cutting through Lara's soul. Dona Marta reveals a dark secret she has been keeping for years. The medications she has been giving her granddaughter are not to treat her illness, but to keep her sick and dependent. Consumed by a sickly jealousy and an overwhelming fear of losing Lara, Dona Marta has been manipulating her granddaughter's health for years, preventing her recovery. Lara feels the air escape from her lungs. She can't believe what she's hearing. Her grandmother, the person she trusted the most, the person who was supposed to care for her and protect her, has been manipulating her health for selfish reasons. The shock of the betrayal is overwhelming. Tears begin to roll down Lara's face as she listens to Dona Marta confess her sickly jealousy and fear of losing her granddaughter. Horrified by the discovery, she confronts her grandmother. Dona Marta, cornered, crumbles into tears, begging for forgiveness. She explains that the fear of being alone and her obsessive love for her granddaughter led her to take extreme measures. Her grandmother's voice is laden with despair and regret, but it doesn't diminish the pain Lara feels. Lara remembers all the moments when her grandmother handed her medications with an affectionate smile on her face. She remembers the sleepless nights she spent suffering from side effects, believing it was necessary for her recovery. Now, she realizes it was all a cruel farce. Lara's mind is in turmoil. She feels betrayed, deceived, and deeply hurt. How could her own grandmother do something so terrible? How could she put her own fear and jealousy above her granddaughter's health and well-being? Lara breaks down in tears, her body trembling with the force of the emotions that invade her. She feels lost, not knowing who to trust or what to do next. The shocking discovery has shaken the foundations of her world, leaving her adrift in a sea of pain and uncertainty. However, amidst the emotional chaos, a spark of determination begins to shine within Lara. She knows she can't allow this manipulation to continue. She needs to confront her grandmother, seek the truth, and fight for her own health and well-being. With her hands still trembling, Lara turns off the recorder, takes a deep breath, gathering all the courage she possesses, and demands answers from her grandmother. With great difficulty, Laura drags herself towards the living room, where her grandmother, Donna Marta, is sitting in her favorite armchair. The air is heavy with the tension that hangs between them. Laura stands in front of her grandmother, her eyes red and swollen from the tears she has shed. She holds the recorder tightly, as if it were her only proof of the betrayal she has suffered. Donna Marta looks surprised at the expression on her granddaughter's face. Grandma, we need to talk," says Laura, her voice trembling but firm. I discovered something that changed everything I thought about you and my life." What are you talking about, dear? What happened?" Laura takes a deep breath and presses the play button on the recorder. Donna Marta's voice fills the room, revealing the dark truth behind the medications she has been giving her granddaughter. The grandmother's eyes widen in shock and horror as she hears her own words echoing in the room. When the recording ends, a deafening silence takes over the room. Laura stares at her grandmother, tears of anger and pain streaming down her face. How could you do this to me, Grandma? How could you deceive me and harm me for so long?" Donna Marta looks away, ashamed and consumed by guilt. She tries to find the right words to explain her actions, but nothing seems sufficient. "Laura, I'm sorry. I was so afraid of losing you, of being alone. I didn't know what to do." Laura shakes her head in disbelief. Afraid of losing me? Grandma, you almost destroyed me. I spent years suffering, believing I was sick, when in reality, it was you who was keeping me that way. Donna Marta's tears begin to fall, the realization of the impact of her actions hitting her hard. Forgive me, Laura. I didn't realize how much I was hurting you. I was blinded by my own selfishness and fear. Laura feels anger and hurt burning in her chest. She wants to scream, wants to make her grandmother feel the same pain she felt. However, amidst the storm of emotions, a spark of compassion arises in her heart. Grandma, I don't know if I can forgive you now. You hurt me in a way I never imagined possible. Donna Marta wipes away her tears and looks into her granddaughter's eyes. Laura, I got lost in fear. When your parents died and you came to live with me, I swore I would do everything to protect you. But, at some point, that love became possessive and distorted. I didn't want you to grow up and leave me behind. Laura listens to her grandmother's words, trying to understand the pain and despair behind her actions. She knows that what Donna Marta did was wrong, unforgivable even. But she also recognizes human frailty and the destructive power of fear. Grandma, what you did, there's no justification. But I want us to overcome this together. I want you to seek help, to learn to deal with these fears in a healthy way. And I need time to heal my own wounds. Donna Marta nods, as if accepting Lara's words. But despite the shocking revelations, the initial confrontation, and seeming very remorseful, Donna Marta cannot abandon her manipulative plan. The fear of losing Lara and the desire to keep her under her control are stronger than any sense of morality. Thus, after a brief period of apparent remorse, Donna Marta secretly resumes administering harmful medications to Lara. She finds cunning ways to hide the drugs in her granddaughter's food and drinks, ensuring that Lara remains debilitated and dependent. Lara, initially suspicious, gradually lowers her guard. She wants to believe in her grandmother's change and the promise of a new beginning. However, her health continues to deteriorate, and she can't understand why. Meanwhile, Donna Marta maintains a facade of dedication and unconditional love. She accompanies Lara to all medical appointments, always attentive to manipulate the situation in her favor. Lara's doctor, Dr. Oliveira, is complicit in the entire scheme. Dr. Oliveira, an ambitious and unscrupulous man, was seduced by Donna Marta's promises. She convinced him that keeping Lara sick was best for everyone, guaranteeing him financial benefits and special favors. Thus, he becomes an accomplice in the terrible plot. Lara, increasingly weak and confused, begins to question her own sanity. She has lapses of memory and moments of lucidity, in which she suspects that something is terribly wrong. However, whenever she tries to express her concerns, Dona Marta and Dr. Oliveira are there to calm her down and convince her that everything is fine. Lara becomes a prisoner in her own life. Confined to bed, dependent on the care of her grandmother and the corrupt doctor, she loses hope for a better future. Her youth is stolen, and her dreams fade into the haze of fabricated illness. Meanwhile, Dona Marta revels in the absolute control she exercises over her granddaughter's life. She convinces herself that she is acting out of love, that she is protecting Lara from a cruel and dangerous world. But deep down, she knows she is feeding her own demons. The sordid plot of Dona Marta and Dr. Oliveira seems infallible, but the truth has a way of coming to light. One day, a new and perceptive nurse named Anna starts working at Lara's house. She notices inconsistencies in the care provided and begins to suspect something sinister. From the first moment, Lara feels a special connection with Anna. There is something in her compassionate gaze and confident demeanor that inspires trust. Lara, still shaken by recent discoveries, finds in Anna a safe haven to confide in. One quiet afternoon, while Anna changes Lara's dressings, the young patient can no longer keep her secret. The words begin to flow, and Lara tells Anna about the manipulation of her health by her grandmother and Dr. Oliveira's connivance. Anna listens attentively, her eyes widening with each revelation. She holds Lara's hand firmly, offering support and understanding. "Lara, I'm so sorry for everything you've been through. It's simply unacceptable." Lara feels immense relief in sharing her burden with someone she trusts. She looks at Anna with pleading eyes. "Yana, I don't know what to do now. I want justice, I want the truth to be revealed, but I'm afraid." Anna takes a deep breath, an unwavering determination shining in her eyes. "Lara, you're not alone in this. I'm here to support you and help you uncover the truth. We'll see this through to the end, together." Anna decides to investigate on her own, determined to uncover the truth and free Lara from the clutches of her manipulative grandmother. From that moment on, Lara and Anna become a determined team. They begin investigating Dr. Oliveira, sifting through medical records, talking to other patients, and gathering evidence of his unethical practices. As the pieces of the puzzle start to fit together, a disturbing picture begins to form. Dr. Oliveira is not only complicit in Dona Marta's scheme, but is also involved in a broader network of corruption and medical negligence. Lara and Anna discover that Dr. Oliveira has a history of prescribing unnecessary and expensive treatments, manipulating diagnoses for his own benefit. He has suspicious partnerships with pharmaceutical companies and receives commissions for recommending certain medications. Each discovery is like a blow to Lara, who sees her trust in the medical system shatter. However, Anna's constant presence keeps her steady. Together, they gather compelling evidence against Dr. Oliveira and prepare to report him to the appropriate authorities. On a tense afternoon, Lara and Anna confront Dr. Oliveira in his office. With the evidence in hand, they corner him, demanding answers and accountability. The doctor, finding himself trapped, finally admits his wrongdoings and agrees to cooperate with the investigations. Lara and Anna, armed with compelling evidence, decide to bring the truth to the public and seek justice. On a busy morning, Anna takes Lara for a walk in the park and they go to the local police station. They carry with them folders filled with documents, recordings, and testimonies that expose the crimes committed by Dona Marta and Dr. Oliveira. Upon arriving at the police station, Lara takes a deep breath, gathering all her courage. She knows this is the moment she has fought for so long, the moment to confront those who have harmed her and demand that they be held accountable for their actions. With Anna's unwavering support by her side, Lara approaches the police chief and presents the evidence. The chief, a middle-aged man with a serious demeanor, listens attentively as Lara narrates her story, from the manipulation of medications by her grandmother to Dr. Oliveira's complicity in exchange for financial benefits. As Lara speaks, the police chief meticulously examines the documents presented. His eyes widen with each damning piece of evidence, and his expression grows increasingly grim. He recognizes the severity of the crimes committed and the need to act swiftly. Without wasting time, the police chief mobilizes his team. Orders are given, and arrest warrants are issued. News of the scandal spreads quickly, and the local media soon arrives at the police station, eager for information about the shocking case. Meanwhile, Dona Marta and Dr. Oliveira, unaware of what is about to happen, go about their daily routines. Dona Marta is at home, preparing the next batch of adulterated medications for Lara, while Dr. Oliveira sees patients in his office, ignoring his oath to care and protect. Suddenly, the police raid Dona Marta's house and Dr. Oliveira's office. Screams of surprise and despair echo through the rooms as the suspects are handcuffed and taken into custody. The look of shock and fear on their faces is captured by the reporters' cameras, broadcasting the scene in real time. Lara watches everything from afar, her heart racing. She feels a mix of relief and sadness as she sees her grandmother and the doctor she trusted being taken away by the police. Anna remains by Lara's side, offering her unwavering support. They embrace, tears of emotion streaming down their faces. The scandal has erupted in the small town, shocking everyone. Dona Marta and Dr. Oliveira are arrested and face the consequences of their heinous acts. Lara, finally free from the lies and manipulation, begins the long and arduous process of recovery, both physically and emotionally. In the days that follow, the scandal makes national headlines. Lara's story becomes a symbol of the fight against medical corruption and family manipulation. Lara carries with her the invisible scars of a lifetime of lies and betrayal. She feels lost, betrayed by those she trusted the most, and her body still suffers from the side effects of the medications that were improperly administered to her for so long. However, Lara is not alone. Anna, the nurse who became her confidant and ally, remains by her side, offering unconditional support and encouragement. Lara begins proper medical treatment under the supervision of a team of professionals committed to helping her recover. She undergoes thorough examinations, medication adjustments, and therapies to strengthen her weakened body. Each small improvement is celebrated as a victory, a step towards full recovery. At the same time, Lara dedicates herself to emotional therapy. She works with a psychologist specializing in trauma, exploring the emotional wounds caused by her grandmother's betrayal and Dr. Oliveira's complicity. It's a painful process that forces her to confront feelings of anger, sadness, and loss of trust. In therapy sessions, Lara learns to process her emotions and develop strategies to cope with the trauma. She discovers the importance of self-care and self-acceptance, learning to love and value herself despite the scars of the past. As time passes, Lara begins to experience small victories. She feels her physical strength gradually returning, and the nightmares that haunted her start to become less frequent. Lara finds comfort in the company of Anna and other survivors of medical abuse, sharing their experiences and supporting each other. Lara also becomes an advocate for patient rights, sharing her experience in lectures and interviews to raise awareness about the importance of medical ethics and vigilance against abuse. There are days when Lara feels overwhelmed by emotional pain and memories of the past. However, she has learned to be kind to herself, to allow herself to feel, and to seek support when needed. She discovers an inner strength she didn't know she possessed and becomes an example of resilience and courage, inspiring others facing similar challenges to never give up. While Lara struggles to recover and rebuild her life, far away in the dark prison cells, Dona Marta faces her own inner demons. The reality of her actions and the devastating consequences they caused to her granddaughter hit her with full force. Sitting in her cold and lonely cell, Dona Marta is haunted by memories of the past. She relives every moment she manipulated Lara's health, every pill administered with selfish intentions, every lie told to maintain control over her granddaughter's life. Guilt consumes her like poison, corroding her soul and leaving her without peace. Donna Marta wonders how she could have been so blind, so selfish as to harm the person she loved most in the world. Tears stream down her wrinkled face as she drowns in a sea of remorse. In the long hours of forced introspection, Donna Marta reflects on the reasons that led her to act in such a despicable way. She faces the overwhelming fear of losing Lara, the unhealthy jealousy that consumed her, and the desperate need for control. Each layer of her psyche is stripped away, revealing the deep emotional wounds that led her to make such harmful decisions. Donna Marta remembers her own troubled childhood, the losses she suffered, and the emotional void she tried to fill through control over Lara's life. She realizes, with regret, that her love became distorted and possessive, turning into a prison for both of them. During Lara's visits to the prison, Donna Marta tries to express her deep remorse. She begs for forgiveness, sincere tears streaming down her face. Lara, still in the process of healing, listens to her grandmother's words with a mixture of pain and compassion. She understands that Donna Marta's remorse is genuine, but also recognizes that the path to reconciliation will be long and difficult. Donna Marta dedicates herself to working on her own emotional recovery. She participates in therapy sessions in prison, facing her demons and learning to deal with her feelings of guilt and remorse. She strives to understand the roots of her actions and develop strategies to become a better person. As time passes, Donna Marta begins to find small moments of inner peace. She dedicates herself to helping other inmates facing similar challenges, sharing her story as a warning about the dangers of distorted love and excessive control. In the letters she writes to Lara, Donna Marta expresses her genuine love and desire to repair the damage caused. She acknowledges that she cannot change the past, but is determined to be a better person in the present and future. As Donna Marta serves her sentence, she finds solace in the hope that, one day, she can rebuild her relationship with Lara on healthier foundations. She dreams of a future where she can be the loving and supportive grandmother Lara always deserved, free from the shadows of the past. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our amazing and exciting stories. Let me know in the comments what you would have done if you were in Lara's place. Would you have forgiven your grandmother, or would you have made her pay for all the harm she caused you?